What is up, guys? I'm so stoked to be here today, and we're going to start getting into our redraft leagues. We've had a summer and spring of Dynasty, but now it's time to turn our attention to win you your redraft league. I'm going to come at you with 5 of my favorite breakout players in redraft this year that are going to win you your league against your friends, against your coworkers, against your longtime buddies from back home. So let's get it kicked off with one of my favorite players to attack in redraft this year, and that's going to be George Pickens, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, currently going off the board as ADP wide receiver 28. That's according to Fantasy Pros. And what I have up here on the screen is a stretch of games last year from George Pickens when Deontay Johnson was not there. And we had a couple massive weeks, an okay week. Yes, there is a dud mixed in here, but with the exception of maybe the top 5 or 6 wide receiver in a redraft league, there's going to be some ups and downs. But I think George Pickens has all the tools to be a top 15 wide receiver in redraft this year. I think he has a chance to be even higher if he takes another step in his game. I love Russell Wilson as a quarterback for George Pickens specifically. I think Wilson's going to be able to push the ball downfield more than what Pickens has had in the past with Pickett, Mason Rudolph. He's basically had just the bottom tier guys of the league. So I really think George Pickens has a chance to take a step forward. And right now, I just do not think he's being drafted anywhere near what his ceiling could be. So I love the value you're getting. Same thing here with Tank Dell, little different situation. Dell coming off the injury, so I think he's going to be ready. Every sign is kind of pointing towards him being ready. I have a stretch here where Dell basically turned into a full-time player last year. Before this, he didn't have this high of a snap percentage. But weeks 8 through 12 last year leading up to the injury, Tank Dell was on an absolute heater. He's tied to one of the best offenses in the NFL, which is a statistic that basically is a very consistent meter and telling stat of being a chance to have a top season as a wide receiver in redraft. I love the ADP here, wide receiver 29. I would reach way higher than that for Tank Dell. I think this dude's going to be a top 24 wide receiver on one of its top 5 offenses in fantasy football this year. And I just think he has the upside. There's going to be some ebbs and flows with that Texans offense just because of Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs, but I'm just not too concerned. Tank Dell's going to have his games. He's the big play threat, and he plays a different role than Diggs and Nico do that I just think he's going to succeed, and I love the value you're getting on Tank Dell right now. Next one's going to be one of my favorite players, Dalton Kincaid, coming off the board as tight end 5 right now, redraft ADP. He kind of took over last year in the stretch in the middle of the season. Look at this consistency, especially in the target numbers. That's what I love out of a tight end, is a high target number. And let's keep in mind, this was last season when he was A, rookie, B, they had Stephon Diggs on the team, C, they had Gabe Davis. Yes, Gabe Davis, not great. But these were guys that have been in that offense for a couple years, and Dalton Kincaid was not the number 1 option. What I love about Kincaid's upside this year is he has a chance to be the number 1 option in the Buffalo passing attack. And that is something that you need to look at if you want an elite season out of your tight end. What other tight ends have done that in the past? Basically, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, right? Both of them are the number 1 option on their team, and that is why they've been the tight end 1 before in fantasy football. So I think the risk is worth it with Dalton Kincaid because of the upside, and I really do not mind taking a shot on him in these middle rounds, kind of where he's falling ADP-wise. I think that's a great spot to go and grab him. Next, we're going to go over 2 running backs. Brian Robinson is someone who I have actually been kind of just creeping up my boards in a redraft sense. I have him here a stretch of games from last year. This is just his whole season. He finished as RB 20-something, which is just higher than his ADP. And I would expect Washington's offense to get a little better. Let's not forget that Kingsbury's coming over from the Cardinals from a couple years ago, but Kingsbury really utilized James Conner very well out of the backfield, especially in the passing game. And I think Brian Robinson can do the things that James Conner did. Yes, they brought in Austin Eckler, and I think he could have an okay season as well in PPR leagues. But I just think there's some untapped upside for Robinson that is not being expressed in his current ADP. Now, I'm not saying to reach for Brian Robinson in round 4 and expect him to be a top 12 running back, but he's going off the board as RB 34. And I love targeting him in that range because I think he has the upside to be a top 20 running back this season. He basically did it last year, missed a couple games, on what I think is going to be a worse offense. They have Jaden Daniels coming in. I think he's going to check down, give Robinson some more just free catches, free points in fantasy league. So I really love the range that Robinson's going in right now. Another guy going in a similar range, Chase Brown, the Bengals running back, going off the board is RB41 right now in July ADP. And what I have here is Joe Mixon's stats from the last 3 years. Now, yes, Chase Brown is not Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a better player than Chase Brown. Joe Mixon, however, is not on the Bengals anymore. And Joe Mixon was a top 12 running back all of the last 3 years. He had an off year where he kind of got hurt, and he was a top running back before that as well. So if you can give me 70% of Joe Mixon for Chase Brown this year, he's going to be an absolute steal at this range in drafts at RB41. And I think he's going to be utilized out of the backfield. I think this is a role Chase Brown can succeed in. I think he's going to be used very well in the Bengals offense. Yes, Zach Moss is there. Zach Moss is going to be a part of the game plan, but I just think Chase Brown has the upside. And I'm willing to take a reach on him probably in the late 30s. And I just think he has the upside to be a top 24 guy in this Bengals offense if he takes over. And you are really not paying much for him going all the way down here at RB41. He's a great zero RB target. He's a great hero RB target if you're getting one stud and then just loading up on wide receivers, and you loop back around and you come get Chase Brown here. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are moving into redraft season. We're going to win you your league. We're going to kick the crap out of your coworkers. So keep coming back for more videos. This is just the start. I cannot wait for August to come at you guys with a ton of stuff to give you the advantages to win your league. So if you haven't been to the channel before, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. We're so close to getting to 500, which is my first big goal. This is going to be my first redraft season on this channel, and I cannot wait to engage with you guys down below. Shoot me a comment. Let me know where you're from. Let me know your team. Let me know your questions, trade questions. That's what I'm here for. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you later.